You know that there is a marine creature that can only live in poisonous water and it boils, and there is another type of fish. Its brain has a light bulb, and this is not the strangest thing that you will hear with us today, because in this video I tell you about the 5 strangest creatures that live on the ocean floor. And who will impress you with their strange shapes and abilities at a depth of 1,000 meters from the ocean floor. One of the strangest fish in the sea world lives called habockunger fish, and it is considered one of the ugliest marine creatures because of his frightening features, and her face is always angry because of her distance from the sun. Hello, my family, curious souls. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your coffee mug and focus with me. The size of the brain is very huge for its size, and its horn is large in the shape of a crescent, and full of large and sharp teeth. And the strangest need in them, her spine is out of her head, and attached to the need of a bulb like a light to generate real light, and this light helps her move around the darkness and attract prey to her, because at the bottom of the ocean there is any simple source of light that belies many beings, believing that this is their hope of survival. But in fact it is a trap in the life of the English. Full control belongs to the female because she is 6 times the size of the male, and the process of mating between them is very strange because the male merges with the female, and they remain as if one, and at a depth of 1,200 meters lives another being named Van, a good virus or squid, the vampire, although it is only 20 centimeters long. But it is like monsters in science fiction movies, and in an instant it can stretch and flee its arms because it will reach 90 cents. They say his blue eye, which is all his red body that looks like an abaya. Let scientists call the vampire the art empire. Pierce code has on each arm very sharp spines, and a group of threads that expand and contract in all ends, and this one catches his prey. He is standing in his place, so he is a creature very lazy in the summer, relying heavily on marine debris and organic waste, and if he decides to catch a blue light from his body, the fries lie, and then he imposes the threads and claws that he has any need to hold onto. It is a technique very close to the fishing net, and if it is endangered it has more than one way to defend itself. For example, it can secrete luminous mucus to distract other creatures from the thoughts. The substance does her and she runs with her and he escapes. The second way is that he turns his body from his face to his righteousness and surrounds himself with his armor, and protects himself in its atmosphere, and this makes his shape terrifying for the being who attacks. The dazzling need in this type of squid, if it is injured in any attack and only any party returns from tawny, and when we go down under a few violins at a depth of 1,500 meters in the ocean, there is a fish called tischfish, which is known. The fish of the axe and the fish are only 12 centimeters long, but his open bag all the time, his protruding teeth, and her eyes make it look shocked, devoid of the most terrifying creatures on the ocean floor. The fish has a strange strategy of disguise and financing, as it has a row of members who look at near on its side. This light changes according to the color and intensity of any light around it and can even hide its imagination. The camouflage strategy is now being used in a technique called stop DM. This is a technology they use in modern communication systems such as Wi-Fi and 5G, and it depends on the same method, the fish in the manipulation of light and signals. At a depth of 2,500 meters, a type of worm named customer bear lives next to active thermal vents, semi-chimney vents or small volcano craters from which toxic water comes out. This makes life there almost impossible. The oxygen level is very low at this depth, So the worm we're talking about has been able to adapt to life in an environment named like this. The worm's body is a tube covered with thorn-like hair called chatai and surrounds itself with a mucus tube and smear, and this is her home and very little comes out of it. That's why you can live in temperatures up to 80 degrees Celsius. The Bombay worm does not have eyes or any sensitive organs that help it see, but it depends in communication on chemical signals that communicate with its sex, and at very far depths of up to 5,000 meters in the pitch darkness the fang-toes fish lives characterized by its protruding teeth to a very dangerous degree. And if it were not for the cavities of the ceiling of her mouth in which her teeth enter when she closed it, her brain would have been pierced from her teeth, and she has small eyes. But she does not see her and depends on an organ located along her side that makes her a different sense from other living things. This radar-like organ captures any simple movement that a divine movement will save it from predators. As for eating, the fantas fish has a very distinctive sense of smell, in which it relies on special cells that distinguish all the smells around it with great accuracy, and determine the size and location of the team that you cannot escape from even if its size is larger. If you liked the video, share it with your friends. Don't forget to follow us and